you're familiar with the museum, it's that museum you have to pay for. They're unfriendly. So we can protest that too. There's a question about whether we want to take the streets.
Proposal to take the streets.
There's a proposal to take the streets versus to keep it on the sidewalks. I think this is a question. Jeff, can you explain the legalities really quickly about taking the streets?
We don't have the numbers to take the streets.
Yeah, we do. We do have the numbers. I have been at protests which have taken the streets with far less people. You can start in the streets, and if people feel uncomfortable, we can go back on the sidewalk. There is no reason not to take the streets. We take one lane of traffic. We don't start smashing windows or flipping cop cars and setting them on fire and shit. We don't like threaten to kill people. I think we're gonna be fine. Well, okay, we're trying to get the consensus process. Right, I understand, but if you don't start willing to actually put your body on the line and slow things down, it's gonna be a serious problem for actually ever getting anywhere. This is an occupation. Let's fucking occupy something.
We can either, it is legal to march on this. It is legal to either march on the sidewalk with as many people as we have, or to be on someplace other than a street with fewer than 50 people.
Keep it quick. We need to make a decision and move.
So I'm all for being in the streets. I really, really am. But I want to throw it out there that it depends who you are, how safe it is for you to be in the streets. So if you're queer and you get locked up, you're fucked. If you're a person of color and you get locked up, you're fucked.
An occupation is an exercise of power. Walking down the sidewalk, these people are not exercising power. Walking down the middle of a street, I guarantee you, will make you realize a power that you didn't realize you had before. It'll make you see that you can stop traffic, that you can grind something to a halt if you don't like it until people listen to you finally. And 50 people can do it here today, or less than that. We did it with 8 the other day. And you know what the police did was escort us, okay? And they will do it again. They will not arrest you. If they do, I will bail you out. Okay? And that's a lot of people to bail out. Just don't do anything crooked, all right? This is an exercise of power. If you don't like something, we're here to say something. You're probably not supposed to be in this park 24 hours a day or sleeping at the SunTrust Bank like me and my buddy did the other day, right? But what you're saying is I disagree with something so strongly, and you won't listen to what I say when I vote. That I have to find another way to make you hear my voice. Our voice. Until things change. That starts today. Take the power back. March on the
Sir, do you have an opinion about the Occupy movement?
I'm kind of covering it for my job.
Oh, excuse me. So do you have an opinion? Who do you work for, sir?
Salon.com.
So do you think this movement is about the kinds of demands that are coming out of New York, though, for
I think it's
universal health care, for free education, forgiveness of all debt, elimination of all credit reporting agencies, $20 minimum wage? Those are actually on the official list at OccupyWallStreet.org.
I'm not familiar with those.
Well, what do you think of those positions? Those particular demands?
I like the abolish all debt.
So if you owe someone money, all of a sudden the government should be able to come and say, no, you don't owe that person money anymore?
No, I think on specific categories, consumer debt, home mortgages. Maybe it doesn't have to be total forgiveness.
Well, if you borrow money, I mean, even if it comes from a bank, where did that money come from?
Where did that money come from?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately it comes from the Federal Reserve, right? The government printed it and created inflation and took it from the people. So if someone borrowed money from that, when you say they shouldn't have to pay it back, essentially you're saying that the government should underwrite all of the indulgences that have created that debt.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just here to see what's going on.
Okay.
I don't have a position.
Sure would fix the problems if we ended the Fed. That'd make the world a better place.
Are you one of the anti-Ron Paul people here?
I am as anti-Ron Paul as they come.
So where do you think it's okay for someone to use force against another human being?
I think that's kind of a shitty way to put it. I mean, capitalism itself is the use of state force against the working class.
No, that's corporatism.
Oh, go the fuck away.
So you really don't know the definition of capitalism, actually. If the government is involved and the government is redistributing wealth to corporations, you think that's capitalism?
Darling friend, property is a state construct. Property requires a militarized force to keep the property in the hands of the property owners. Like, without an army, without a police force, factories would not remain in the hands of the capitalists. I'm not a commie. I don't want to seize control of everything and redistribute it.
Do you own your own body?
I think I'm licensing it from God.
Do you need government's permission to exercise ownership over that license from God?
I do, in fact. Because
so if it wasn't for government...
if the state weren't protecting me, I would have no rights whatsoever.
How well is the state doing at actually protecting those rights?
Shitty job. That's why we're telling them to do better.
Has it ever done a good job of protecting rights when it's based on the violation of rights?
Better than the bosses, my friend.
But the bosses have their power because the government. You just said that their property would only exist with the force of government.
There's no societies without government. Okay, for one thing, like the idea of a stateless society. I mean, okay, there are. There's like sort of small hunter-gatherer, like sort of, I don't want to say primitive, but like sort of farming tribes without a lot of division of labor. Otherwise, there's always been a state. The state is just a mechanism we can use to improve the living conditions of human beings.
Do you believe in democracy?
I do.
So the state is a way for the 51% to forcefully impose their will on the minority?
That doesn't how it works out, typically.
Well, actually, that's by definition how it works out in a democracy, majority rule.
So Ron Paul wants to annihilate democracy and set the world to feudalism?
No, it's called the Republic.
We are the 99%! We, you, are the 99%! Drop your false consciousness! Thousands of people in New York City on the street until it fixes, until it works. Have you read it in the newspaper yet? I bet you haven't.
No more business as usual. No more business as usual. No more business as usual.
Make sure nobody's standing behind where these two police officers are, just because we want to make sure pedestrians can get through. And as long as everybody's in front of them, we can continue having a nice peaceful protest here.
Who is Occupy DC? We are citizens, professionals, students, activists, parents, unemployed workers, voters.
Just a quick announcement, the police have ordered us not to take the streets on the way back. They say we're cool if we stay on the sidewalk, but that we will be subject to arrest if we march on the streets on our way back.
I'm against turning to the government for solutions to problems that the government created. And really everything I've heard out of the Occupy movement so far has been looking for government solutions as opposed to, voluntary cooperative solutions. So if we stop giving money to the bankers through the Fed, people will be more poor?
Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, I'm not saying banks should be eliminated. We need a financial system. Like,
we need a fiat currency with the Fed?
Yeah, we do. We need it. Roll bad. And we need so much more money right now. They should be printing ungodly amounts of money. They should. Like, the problem is we're all over in...
Guys, libertarianism, yeah, come on.
But when the government prints money, that the inflation tax is what hurts the poor people the most, right?
Oh God, no.
Oh my God.
I think we're gonna GA. Okay, yeah. All right. Go have this conversation in a freshman dorm room where it belongs.
Yeah, exactly. You and Alex Jones.
They have no political theory to speak of. They have no practical solutions to speak of. They do have a few signs.